Hey guys, so in this video I will be reviewing my Nikon Z50 and give you my overall initial impressions of it after using it for almost an entire year. Originally it was supposed to replace my Nikon D5200 right here, but I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and whether or not it's still a contender in the mirrorless APS sensor market today. Stay tuned. So if you don't know who I am yet, what up? My name is Peter from Broke Visionary Collective, where I help you become a better content creator. And if you don't know, you probably stumbled across this YouTube channel is because I filmed almost every one of my videos on a Nikon camera. First, it was the Nikon D5200, but now it is the Nikon Z50. And right behind me right here is almost a year ago where I actually bought the Nikon Z50 with the kit lens and the F to Z mount. And one of the selling points of me getting the Nikon Z50 is one, I can use all of my older lenses like the Sigma 2.8 or the nifty 35 1.8 super bokeh-licious on my crop D5200. I can put that on my camera and film that in 4K video with an enhanced autofocus system, because if any of you guys know, Nikon video on any of these DSLR, the autofocus is going to be a little wonky, which is why you're seeing now is the Nikon Z50. The autofocus, if you have in a well-lit environment or you're using lights, the overall environment works completely fine and it works great if you have it on the right settings. And if you want to see an autofocus test on using my Nikon Z50 as well as the F to Z mount adapters for all my Nikon lenses, link in the description, check that video out first. So I'm not going to go into the super specifics of the Nikon Z50 camera because I already have in all my other videos, but if you don't know yet, it features a 20.9 megapixel CMOS sensor and it is a mirrorless camera, meaning there is no digital reflector like the old DSLR, so it does have its benefits. So the pros of Nikon using the Nikon Z50 is that it's compact, it has a interesting selfie screen that flips down, and it's a budget-friendly camera retailing for $1,000 USD, and you can probably find it even cheaper with if you're using any of the kit combos you buy it with. And this is a tip for you. If you want to buy the Nikon Z50 with its dual kit lens combo, you're way better off buying it as a combo because you're saving yourself $200 to $300 extra if you were to buy them alone, as long with the F to Z mount adapter. And if you're going to get that, get the whole bundle. Do not get it individually. So my overall thought process of using this camera is that I wanted to use it from a videographer perspective. I was going to use this video specifically for video, this camera for video, meaning I'm going to shoot all of this in 4K. I get to shoot finally in 120 frames per second on a Nikon camera, which is great, as well as have some flexibility in its color profile. And if you haven't checked my other video, is that you can actually color grade if you use a flat picture profile with a Nikon Z50, and the colors on this are pretty dang good. So if you're looking for a budget camera that has the versatility as well as using that APS-C to its benefit in terms of video capabilities, is that you'll have that somewhat of a bokeh, right? Depth of field. You have more color control because Nikon's color science is, I'd say, second, the best being Canon, but it's better than Sony. And you were like a run and gun vlogger and you already have Nikon lenses. So the pros of using this guy is that you already have an existing system for it. So you have your lenses, as well as you understand the menu system. It's one of the most friendly, I think, when it comes to overall using the camera and setting up. It has custom U1, U2 settings. If you check that video, check that out too. And we're gonna talk about the cons and what I don't like about this camera, using it after a year for professional, for fun, as well as my own paying clients. Let's get into it. So after using this camera for almost a year for clients and this own YouTube channel, I'm starting to realize the flaws of this camera. And one of that being is low light capabilities. I think, tell me in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but the D5200, yes, hunts, but actually does a lot better in low light compared to my Nikon Z50. And I'm noticing on this camera that I'm having to bump up my ISO a lot more frequently compared to my Nikon D50-200 here. And yes, the autofocus works fine, but as you see, if I just turn off my one key light here, it does have a little bit of issue using it in low light when it comes to autofocus. And the whole purpose of using this camera was that I could rely on some sort of autofocus, but it does have a tendency to hunt if you are in low light capabilities. Another con of using the Nikon Z50 is that you're gonna have low battery life. One, you're gonna need to pick up 2 to 3 or even 4 Nikon Z50 batteries if you are willing to use this for a full day's shoot. And if you are trying to get these batteries, good luck, because reading the other comments, it is quite hard to find these batteries, and if you do, they retail around for $100 as long with a charger. So you're looking at it's not having the ability to charge the camera as well as film. You need to turn off the camera so you can use a USB adapter to charge the camera, which is a downfall. I wish that you can still use continuous charging, let's say with a power bank, so you can have this camera continuously record as well as for your shooting videos. But the thing is, one of the things that downside as well is it doesn't do unlimited 4K recording. It has little intervals of 29 minutes, which can get a little frustrating, especially if you're in the video realm. So if you consider all of those cons as well as all those pros, who do I actually recommend this camera for going into the future and beyond, is that if you don't have any of the Nikon system, I'm talking about older, FX, DX lenses, you're not familiar with Nikon, but you want a run and gun compact travel camera, yes, by all means, do it. And that's one of the reasons I picked this up, because A, it was in my budget, and I was going to consider this over the Z5 is because I wanted that 120 frames slow motion, and if you get the Z5, it's already cropping in 1.5. So why am I paying for a full frame camera if I'm used specifically for video? That was my thought process. And who I don't recommend this camera for is if you're strictly video only, you don't have any Nikon gear whatsoever, you're not so familiar with it. I would much recommend, if you're more of a casual, get something along the lines of the ZV-1. And I might do a comparison of this. Let me know in the comments, guys, that you want to see a head-to-head. I'm going to shoot 4K on each camera, and you guys tell me which one looks better. As well as there's a lot of competitors in this APS-C market. You're looking at Sony, the 6600, right? You're looking at the Fuji's X-T4, which is a beast. You're paying a little bit more of a premium, but that is what this camera is up against. More of a fair comparison, you're looking at maybe the Canon EOS M series. And one of the sad things about the Nikon Z50 is that they may start to phase out this camera because they haven't have any other additional lenses. If you want to have more lenses for your Nikon Z50, there's only two: the kit lens that I'm using right now and the zoom lens. And if you want to use the full frame lenses, you can, but to not have any support from Nikon for having specifically crop sensors, crop lenses for this guy is questionable on whether or not is Nikon going to make a Mark II, or are they slowly trying to phase out all of their APS-C crop sensors so that people are going to invest more into their full frame cameras. That's something that you should be aware of if you plan on buying a Nikon Z50 in 2021, 22, 23, 24, and going forward. So my overall thoughts on using the Nikon Z50 is that, has it done the job and its customizability? Yes, it is a hell of a lot better with Nikon D50-200, but there are drawbacks, like I said. Low light performance lacks battery life as well as autofocus capabilities. But you have to factor in its form factor. Who are you? What are you going to use it for professionally? Probably not you're going to use that, but it is a solid B camera if you were to have, let's say, a Z6 or a Z7 Mark II as your A cam. You guys let me know what you think of Nikon Z50. Is it still in your radar? Are you looking to save up? Are you going to probably bounce away from Nikon and going into maybe Sony and Canons or Fujifilm? Who knows? But for now, what I can say is my Nikon Z50 will still be the main camera for this YouTube channel, as it is all my camera videos are on using the Nikon Z50. But those B-rolls that you're probably wondering, yeah, it's filmed on my ZV-1. So if you watch this far, grab all my links in the description below, check out my free camera guide, and check out all those videos where I actually go more in depth about using my Nikon Z50. I put it to autofocus test, 4K video test, can you do it cinematic, can you color grade? All that is in the description below. And if you want to learn how to use the camera, grab my crash course, link in the description below. And my name is Peter. You're watching A Broke Visionary Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers, guys.